So I have the green candle pants. We're wearing green instead of orange. And I have the
Rocket socks.
Bitcoin Moon sock game. And it's not just, when Moon kind of Lambo. No, this bull market that's just getting started, like we haven't even gotten to crypto fall. That doesn't happen till June. The halving is still yet to come. And we have one more SpaceX like explosion that was planned after the Ides of March, before tax season this year. There's one more selling wave that's coming, and people are going to go, oh my God, it's over. No.
Mark Yusko, the founder, CIO, and managing director of Morgan Creek Capital Investments, expects Bitcoin to shatter all expectations in the coming months. According to the renowned hedge fund manager, the ongoing rally that has seen Bitcoin's price shoot past $52,000 for the first time in over 2 years is just a hint of what's to come later this year. During his latest interview with Scott Melker, Mark explains that we are still in crypto summer, a period noted for its steady rallies, but not the parabolic blow-off top moves that we get during crypto fall. By Mark's estimates, those parabolic moves will begin in June and continue until next year. However, Mark warns that there will be one more sell-off as we get closer to the halving event in April. While Mark does not expect the sell-off to have any lasting effects, he cautions that it might cause a lot of FUD. According to recent reports from Bloomberg, Genesis Global Holdco LLC has secured a judge's approval to liquidate its GBTC investments, currently estimated to be worth $1.3 billion. The GBTC shares owned by Genesis are convertible into either fiat or Bitcoin. As a result, members of the crypto community have expressed concerns about the potential market impact of the sell-off. However, Genesis has been mandated to conduct the disposal gradually in collaboration with a brokerage while adhering to a structured plan. Mark believes the GBTC sell-off is no cause for concern. However, he does not feel the same way about the impact of tax season in the United States. Despite the impending sell-off, Mark is still extremely bullish on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in 2024. We will now bring you clips from Mark's interview. Please watch, like, and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
Every year there are two something burgers, and they are bigger 3 out of the 4 years. In fact, they don't really happen in the fourth year, because the bad year, there are no gains to worry about. But what happens, the Lunar New Year, every year, we just had it. Before Lunar New Year, there's a bunch of selling in China to fill up the red envelopes with cash. And it has happened every year since Bitcoin was started. And everybody's like, why is there selling pressure? Like, do you not understand 1.6 billion people filling up red envelopes with cash? They sell some Bitcoin. So that's one. And so we survived that. That was no problem. And that actually coincided with the GBTC liquidations and all that good stuff. But then you have Uncle Sam has to get paid. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Man, government, we don't care about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a fraud. It just doesn't matter. It's the fifth question on tax
return. It's insane.
It's the fifth question. So after a really good year, and last year was a really good year, up 155%. So there's going to be some taxes due. And people are going to sell to pay taxes. And that happens every 3 out of the 4 years, because you get 3 good years and a bad year, 3 good years and a bad year, 3 good years and a bad year. And Tim Peterson, who I love Tim, just put out this morning this cool thing that we just yesterday, over the 52 weeks, up exactly 100%. And that has happened, I can't remember exactly how many times he said, but in every instance, the next 12 months, we're up 100%. So that's interesting. I think we are exactly on schedule. And I've actually been talking about this for a while. I mean, you and I talked about this 9 months ago, 9 or 10 months ago, doesn't matter. And I'm talking about it every Friday on the Margin Show for over a year, that the 4-year cycle exists because of the halving, right? Halving embeds this natural proclivity for price to rise. Otherwise, the miners, who are integral to the success of the protocol, would find themselves in a pinch because their electricity costs and space costs are fixed. So long story short, you have this cycle. And the cycle is exacerbated by humans, like the people watching the show. And, there are investors, people who buy assets when they're below their fair value. There are traders who don't give a shit about fair value. They just like to trade movement. There are speculators, which are the other side of hedgers. Hedgers are people who like produce things and have to sell, like the miners or oil producers. But then there are the gamblers, and the gamblers are the people who don't understand or really care. They just want number go up. And then they buy on leverage. And that's what pushes us to the crazy parabolic blow off top.
Mark is not the only one bullish about Bitcoin's prices in 2024. Skybridge Capital founder Anthony Scaramucci believes this would be a face-melting rally for Bitcoin. In one of his recent posts on X, Anthony explains that it's not too late for investors to buy Bitcoin, despite the ongoing rally that has pushed the leading cryptocurrency above $52,000 per coin. Anthony's post reads, "With Bitcoin back over $50,000, average investors are again wondering, did I miss buying opportunity? The answer is a hard no." In his post, the Skybridge founder also cited 3 key factors that he believes will further drive Bitcoin's prices upwards before the bull market ends. They are falling interest rates, rising demand for spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, and the upcoming Bitcoin halving event. Anthony predicts that the rising demand for Bitcoin through the ETFs will bring in billions of dollars in new flows and cause a face-ripping rally for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Let's get back to Mark's interview as he further discusses his outlook for the 2024 and 2025 bull market, as well as the futility of plans to bring down the cryptocurrency industry.
This is fair value. Fair value, according to Tim's Metcalfe's Law model, and I've been using the Metcalfe's Law model since 2014. Metcalfe's Law is the definitive way of calculating the value of a network, any network, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Apple, whether it's Bitcoin. And so the Metcalfe's Law model said the fair value is about 52,000. Now I've been rounding it to 50 to make it easy. But when we were at 25, not that long ago, I was like, look, we're going to migrate slowly toward fair value of 50. And guess what? Here we are, almost up to the halving. But then what happens is the halving in previous cycles doubles the fair value. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, think about it. If the block rewards go down in half, the price has to adjust upward 100% to keep the revenues the same. Now, this time there's a subtle difference. So what I was saying before ordinals was that at the halving this year, now it's going to be April 8th, which is kind of a coincidence. That is a total solar eclipse, which I think is an interesting day to have the halving. But anyway, and so that 100K number was my base case, but then ordinals happened and transactions went up and transaction fees went up. So it's possible, and I'm still working on this part. It's possible that fair value only goes to 75 or 80. Let's just say 75. So then the investors have been buying all this time up to fair value. Okay. Well, now we have new people. We have traders, we have speculators because the hedgers are selling. The gamblers haven't even showed up yet. Once they show up and once the leverage starts, then we go right through fair value. So right past 75. Probably in history, we go to 2.3x.
I was going to say we more than doubled it. Yeah.
Yeah, at the peak. We go to 2.3x at the peak. So we went to 69 on a fair value of 30 or 68. It was. And so I don't think we'll go 2.3 times because I think there's less leverage. I think we go 2 times fair value. That's 150. So sometime between Thanksgiving this year and June of the following year, that's when we see the new all-time high. And it's convenient for them to, rail against the things that are disrupting. And this is not unique. This has happened for centuries, there have been disruptive technologies, right? And disruptive ideas. I mean, Galileo wasn't really well liked when he kind of said the world doesn't, or the universe doesn't revolve around the world. He wasn't well liked. And, he suffered for his sins, so to speak. But every disruptive idea or every disruptive technology has been resisted by those with the most to lose. And that's logical, right? I always use the favorite example of the red flag law. Everyone heard the term red flag, and we use it for different things. But where it came from is when the, unions who, scooped the poop of the horses and saddled the horses and made the whips didn't like the horseless carriage. So they lobbied, fancy word for corruption, paid New York City to pass a law called the red flag law that said if you had a horseless carriage, you had to hire a human to walk in front of it with a red flag. Now, has anyone ever seen a person walking in front of a car with a red flag? No, because that was a dumb idea, but it actually was a law that got passed. And inevitably, disruptive technologies that are good, not all disruptive technologies are good, but disruptive technologies that are good catch on. And, this is a technology, the base layer of money, the digital base layer of money for the digital age, that is not going away. No matter how hard they cry, complain, object, try to, dissuade people through FUD and just outright lies, this movement of electronic and physical analog assets into the digital world is not going to stop.
Meanwhile, BlackRock continues to accumulate more Bitcoin for its spot Bitcoin ETF. According to recent reports, the world's largest asset manager held 109,609 Bitcoin in its ETF as of February 14, 2024. It also held $109,955.08 in cash, adding up to over $5.6 billion in net assets. BlackRock's IBIT Bitcoin holdings on February 14th. Source: BlackRock. Spot Bitcoin ETFs raked in $339.8 million on February 14th, with BlackRock's IBIT leading the pack at $224.3 million in net inflows. Together, the Newborn 9 and GBTC have had a total of more than $4.1 billion in inflows since launch. With the largely unprecedented and continued success of the ETFs, investors are expecting even larger price gains for Bitcoin in the coming weeks and months. Are you expecting a face-melting rally with Bitcoin already trading so high while the halving is still weeks away? Let us know your comments and predictions in the comment section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.